Welcome to Coffee and Conversations for Men, a podcast where two men, Jay Guy,
Brian Jones,
sit down to share their stories of struggles, successes, and everything in between as they navigate the ups and downs of life.
Each episode will dive into topics men are curious about as it relates to their fitness, nutrition, relationships, mental health, and lifelong learning. If you're looking for real talk, honest discussions, and practical advice, you're in the right place.
So grab your coffee, sit back, and join us for some candid conversations that will inspire, motivate, and remind you that you are not alone on this journey. So let's get started.
Before we dive in, we just want to make something clear.
We are not psychotherapists, social workers, or licensed counselors. We are simply two lifelong friends, Jay and Brian, who are here to share our personal stories and the lessons that we've learned along the way.
While we offer advice based on our experiences, it's important to remember that we are not professionals in those fields. If you're dealing with specific health, mental health, or relationship issues, we always recommend reaching out to a qualified professional who can guide you in the right direction.
With that said, we hope our conversations help spark some positive changes, inspire reflection, and encourage you on your journey. Okay, Brian, for our What's in Your Cup segment, tell me, what you drinking today?
Today is a coffee we picked up actually in Peterborough at the Canoe Museum.
Okay.
And it's a First Nation owned coffee, and it's called Birch Bark Coffee Company. And it's the First Nations owned social enterprise, and it's called Two Spirit. It's a dark roast. Now, the founder is Mark Marcelo Negabo, and he's an Ojibwe, a citizen of the band member of the Whitefish River First Nations, located on Birch Island in Ontario's Manitoulin district. So it's a good coffee. We're very impressed with it.
Nice.
For sure.
And that's at the Canoe Museum?
That's where we got it. So I'm not sure what else it's distributed, but it's great. And I just want to basically acknowledge that our podcasts are being recorded and situated on the traditional lands of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's important.
Wow. Land acknowledgement and a coffee segment.
And it's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
It is definitely important.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about your coffee? What's in your cup?
So my coffee today is a coffee I found in Las Vegas on my recent trip.
Okay.
And it was at the gun range. And outside the gun range, there was a little coffee shop.
Okay.
And it is called 22 Sierra Coffee Company. And the flavor is called Death from Above. It is a dark roast.
Okay.
And when I made my coffee this morning, I didn't realize it was a dark roast. So I made it like my usual medium roast, and it has got a kick. I'll let you try. It has got a kick.
Okay.
For sure.
So you'll be talking a mile a minute.
I will.
In a bit.
Yeah. And I can understand why it's called Death from Above.
Okay.
It's
right.
enough to knock your socks off.
Okay.
But I would love to try yours as well.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Well, cheers, my friend.
Here we go.
Let's get into it.
Okay, Jay, let's get into this topic. How people-pleasing is sabotaging our fitness, our health, and our growth. This is a topic I've been avoiding for years because I'm a people pleaser.
Oh, I can relate.
So we need to talk this through.
I can relate. Sadly.
I know, but I think a lot of guys find themselves in this category of pleasing others.
Yeah.
Not looking after their own needs.
Yeah, I would sadly have to agree with you there.
So why don't you start?
All right. So a while back, I switched up the way I worked out and started working out with a buddy from work. I started working out the way he was working out. You know, kind of a power lifter, kind of lifting heavy, that kind of thing. Complete opposite from how I would work out,
right?
Or how I was working out at the time. And he had a great physique. No, there's no denying that. He had a great physique. And I was hell-bent to have the same physique. Big, muscular, wanted to put on size. Like I said, I've always been a small kid, so I was determined to put on some size. So I started working out the way he was. So I started lifting heavy, probably heavier than my joints and my ligaments could handle.
Right.
Yeah. And it was not okay. So I was sore, so sore all the time. I ached constantly. And I hated every friggin' minute of it. I'm not even kidding.
But you kept doing it.
I did. I did because I wanted it so bad.
Jay.
I know. And I know. And and I really looked up to this guy. And so I really wanted to change my physique and pack it on. So I tried so hard to pack on more muscle and, and that's something that my body just couldn't handle. And my heart couldn't handle it either.
Right.
And I had mentioned that health scare with my heart. That was a whole part of it.
Oh.
So I was people pleasing to a detriment.
Yeah.
So, however, I did put on muscle. I did pack on the pounds. I went from a muscular 170 to a bulky 183. So I achieved it. I did it. I would like to say that. But at the cost of my health.
Right.
At the cost of my ego, at the cost of all of those things that got in the way of me just enjoying my physique the way it was, because there wasn't a damn thing wrong with it. And there was nothing wrong with the way I was working out. I just saw something different and I wanted it.
Yeah.
It's like looking through an old fitness magazine, and you see Arnold, or you see all of those.
They're all there.
And you were like, oh, I'm going to be like that. Yeah.
And this is what I was doing with mine.
God. Yeah.
I was comparing myself to other people. And I was craving what they looked like.
Yeah.
What they lifted and just how they worked out. And I wanted to be like that too.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. And I can be in the pool swimming, and it happened this morning, Jay. I'm in the pool swimming. There's a guy that's older than me swimming in the next lane.
Right.
And he is just whipping past me, like back and forth and back. He's got the flip. He's got the moves. And I'm underwater looking at him, trying to copycat, thinking there's no way. But I compare myself to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I ended up with an injury because of it.
Wow.
I was at a gym and doing the class was over, and there were these guys doing the box jump.
Okay, yeah.
And they were masterful at it. They were getting right up there.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I can do this.
Oh man.
And it was over a meter, and it was pretty high.
Yeah.
And I missed it by a centimeter, and I fell right back on my tailbone.
Oh.
And I got up faster than I fell down, which I shouldn't have. I should have laid there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They came over and said, "Are you okay? You okay?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, no problem." And it was a month and a half.
Oh my God.
Of being out of
commission,
because the whole tail bone just jammed up in the vertebrae.
Could have done a lot of damage.
Well, and it did. And there are times where I see an osteopath, and there's times where my lower back, and I know that I was trying to please other people.
Yeah.
In their eyes, which they really likely didn't give a crap.
Right.
But in my eyes, I was trying to keep up to them.
Oh man. Yeah. And honestly, if we could just learn it's just you.
I know.
Versus you.
I know.
If we could just learn that,
But why is it so hard?
I don't know. I wish I had that answer. I wouldn't have had to have. I wouldn't have had to go through what I went through if I could just, I got a quote here from. So his Instagram name is Sebum.
Yeah.
But his real name is Chris Bumstead. He's a physique Mr. Olympia champion.
Okay.
And he said, if you look in the mirror and you don't see the perfect version of yourself, you better see the hardest working version of yourself.
Say that last part again. The hardest working version of yourself.
Yep. If you don't see perfect, you better damn well see the hardest that you're doing.
Yeah.
You better see the hardest working version that isn't standing in front of you. Yeah.
And know your limits.
Know your limits.
Dr. Henry Cloud's book, The Boundary Book, just focuses on healthy boundaries in the area of life, including personal fitness. And if you know your boundary, you know your limit. Yes, it's okay to push the edge, but you got to push it and not rely on somebody else's expectations.
100%. Yeah. And when you start comparing yourself to others, you rob yourself of all, and I mean all of the efforts that you have put in along the way so far.
Because you're pleasing others.
Yeah, you're doing it for someone else. The advice I could give others, being through this myself, is once you stop comparing yourself to others, you give yourself a clear, subconsciously, you give yourself a clear version of, I am doing the right things for me, and I am doing good enough for me. Because when you start comparing yourself to others, that's when you give yourself that message, the opposite message of, well, maybe I'm not doing the right things for me, and maybe I'm not doing good enough because I don't look like that guy.
You're right.
I don't look like that guy.
Now, don't get me wrong, because competition is healthy too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you need something to work towards,
Mm-hmm.
which is a vision board. Someone will put on, I want to work towards it.
Yeah.
But you got to do it realistically.
Yeah.
100%. In a timely fashion.
Yeah.
That's it. And if for my advice for our listeners, if they can shift the focus from external validation to their own personal progress.
Yeah.
Because it's a journey. It's not a race.
Yeah. And we say that word all the time, right?
I know.
Along your fitness journey, along this transformation journey.
Yeah.
We use that word all the time so loosely.
Yeah.
But it really does make a difference of how you use the word.
That's right.
Yeah, it really does. And for myself, I had to learn the hard way. But for myself, I had to start pleasing myself. And that's because that's the only one that matters. It's just me, just my opinion.
Right.
That's it.
That's right.
Just me. And I had to learn that the hard way.
That's right.
Unfortunately.
So you're going to look in the mirror tonight. What are you going to tell yourself?
Oh, man, I'm amazing. And I have a face for radio. No, I had to learn the hard way, but honestly, I love the way I work out. I really do. I really truly do. And I don't need to compare myself to others.
No.
At all.
No.
And everyone should feel that way.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Face for Radio. Let's move to our next section on nutrition. Just that how people pleasing kind of got in the way of what you needed to do.
I knew that was going to come back and get me.
Yeah, it is. And I can remember this.
Mr. Face for Radio. I need a shirt that says that. Oh, God. For myself, you want me to start off?
Yeah.
Okay, so for myself, it ties back into working out with the workout friend from work. And so in order to get big, you have to eat big. Those are the principles, right? So I was eating like every 2 hours. Oh, yeah. And I was eating like a cup of rice and a chicken breast and veggies and every 2 hours. Like I wasn't even finished digesting and I was shoving more in. It was crazy. It was so crazy. And it was, I mean, it was healthy stuff. It was chicken, rice, veggies, salmon, broccoli, all those kind of things. And then there was the stacks of pancakes. And more peanut butter waffles than I care to remember. The friggin' peanut butter waffles that I had to eat was just insanity. I would put 4 on at a time.
Okay.
And lather peanut butter and bananas in between 2 waffles and have like four of them in total, but 2 waffles made a sandwich. And I had a
and you were doing this to keep up to the other guy.
To pack the weight on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, there was more peanut butter waffles than I care to remember. Honest to God, I should have had stocks and Eggos.
And peanut butter.
My God, or peanut butter. Yeah, which lucky for me, I love.
Yes,
I love peanut butter. It's my vice. So, again, I absolutely hated it. I absolutely hated every minute of it. So, I would much rather fast.
Okay. I
have been fasting for a long time, and I would so much rather fast than eat like that.
Because that's your thing.
It's my thing. It's enjoyable. I love how I feel.
Yeah.
I always felt slow and sluggish and bogged down by the food. It was just, I was always such a full feeling. Right. And I just didn't, I always felt like I wanted to go to nap somewhere. Like, because I was so full and I just wanted to go nap and sleep it off. But at the same time, I did put on some weight,
right?
Which was unheard of for me at that time, because I sat at 170 for years and I didn't move. So for me to be able to do that, took so much effort in the kitchen.
At one time in my life, my left leg was 170. Come on, buddy.
All right, let's see.
So you're busy pleasing your buddy by packing on the weight for nutrition.
Yes.
Now I am pleasing my kids, trying to be a people pleaser.
All right, I got to hear this.
My wife was a shift worker. Mm-hmm. And when she was on night shift, that meant that she would see our daughters, Friday night and not again until Tuesday, because she would be coming, working while, they would be sleeping, and then she would sleep. And so it was up to me to do the meals. Right. I was just exhausted, Mm-hmm. So to be the fun parent, to avoid conflict, to avoid any tantrums, I would just feed them crap.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe what I fed them. And yeah, I shouldn't say some things were healthy, definitely.
Right.
But there were choices that I would never have made.
Mm-hmm.
We're having ice cream for breakfast. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Grocery shopping. Okay, let's put it in the cart. Just because I don't want to deal with the temper tantrum.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with the conflict at that point. So I was pleasing them and not thinking it through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was short-term solutions. They were quick, convenient meals to avoid. It was the ravioli in the thermos. It was the just some cheesy, powdery stuff that
had no nutritional value.
No nutritional value whatsoever. Wow. That they got. Yeah. And I can remember a guy in a grocery store, and I was shopping by myself one day, and he had 3 kids in his grocery cart, and he was having quite the time.
3 kids in the cart?
3 kids with the grocery cart, and he was putting his groceries in, and they were grabbing cereal stuff, and they were grabbing all kinds of other things in the cart, and he's just shaking his head, and part of me wants to say, just grow some balls, guy, and say no.
Oh my God.
But then there's other part of me saying, I know exactly what you're going through, buddy.
Yeah.
What you're going through.
Oh my God.
So it's people pleasing. Yeah. Because you don't want the fallout.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I know with saying no to your buddy means you're saying yes to your own well-being. And saying no to somebody else, to your kids or to somebody, that you're pleasing.
Right.
If you say no, then you're saying yes to your own sanity.
Yeah, you were doing it. I understand why you were doing it. I really do. You were hoping it would roll along smoothly. I understand why you were doing it
for the most part.
But
we paid for it.
Yeah, I was working shift work as well when the kids were young, and in order for me to have another hour with them, I brought them home for lunch a lot of the time.
Because you wouldn't see them at night.
Because I wouldn't see them at night. Yeah.
Right.
And so I would get up and take them to school, which got me an hour with them.
Right.
And then I would bring them home for lunch because that got me another hour with them.
Right.
And then I was off and running to work on afternoon shift, and then they came home from school and I was at work. Mm-hmm. So I a lot of the times brought them home for lunch or dropped off when they started, doing the intramurals or joining clubs and started staying for lunch. I would drop them off lunch.
Yeah.
So I feel very fortunate that.
And what would those lunches look like?
Oh, they were sometimes wraps. A lot of times they were chicken wraps or what else did I give them? They were hot and ready
so more
stuff.
Picasso.
More Picasso stuff. Yeah, they weren't all just Lunchables and cheesy sticks and off you go. They were thought out nutritional meals.
Right.
And I feel very fortunate that I got a chance to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Now, I wish I had read the book Intuitive Eating by Evelyn Turnbull and Elsie Reese when I was home with the girls when they were younger, my daughters, because her guide breaks down the cycle of dieting and eating healthier and balanced relationship with food. And when I looked at the chapters, I haven't read the whole book, but what I want to get into it because her index talks about there are 10 core principles that encourage individuals to listen to their body's cues, reject diet culture, and embrace the nutrients based on your physical hunger and satisfaction. And as I age, it'll be a good book to get into. But I have to remember about this people-pleasing experience that I had.
Yeah.
And I think if I involved the my kids in meal prepping, it would have been different.
Right.
But it was just easier to do it myself.
Yeah, I
and put things together.
Yeah.
And
there's
involve the kids in cooking.
there's another book from Darren O'Lean, and it's called Super Life: The 5 Simple Fixes That Will Make You Healthier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he breaks down the same thing: food, nutrition, making smart choices, and curbing your cravings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another one of those ones that you can take the recipes and put them into action.
Yeah.
And put them on your plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understanding food and the values of them.
Right.
You know, and when you break them down into what's needed, what's necessary, or what's a craving,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you start looking at your plate completely differently.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's some advice? What's your advice you got?
I think just setting up clear boundaries and communicating them in advance of what you need to do when you're not pleasing other people all the time when it comes to the food choices
that you're making,
that are happening.
Yeah.
And decide in your head before you go out to a restaurant, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Look up the restaurant menu online before you get there.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Say, okay, this is what I'm going to have based on what I need and what I want and what I've had during the day and what's coming up.
I was just going to say
tomorrow.
that same thing. Well, knowing what you've already had during the day. Yeah, like mental prepping.
Yeah.
It's important. For myself, it's learn what works for you and eat what you enjoy and do it for you.
Yeah.
I love my food.
You do.
I love the way I eat here at work.
Yeah.
And I absolutely do it for me.
Good. All right.
Okay, Brian, let's shift gears here for a minute and move on to our next pillar, which is mental health. Let's lean into this a little bit.
Sure. This is a tough one for me because people pleasing. I think I'm a social chameleon.
Okay.
Where I'm always adjusting myself to fit in. Doesn't matter if when I was working or if I'm at home or with friends or with family. I try to adjust myself to meet other people's expectations. And because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. I don't want to create conflict with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just adjust my mannerisms and my behavior to satisfy their expectations of what they think I'm like. And I think in the process, I'm losing myself because I pretend to be somebody that maybe I don't want to be at times. I don't know. I'm trying to make heads or tails if I am a social chameleon or if I'm
So you're trying to change your behavior to fit the situation accordingly.
Well, I am.
To avoid the conflict. Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions then, and let's actually find out if you are a social chameleon or not.
Oh, okay.
So, question 1, let's say, do you focus on others' needs at your own expense? That's a big one.
Yes.
Do you feel like you're losing your authenticity?
Yeah, I do.
In those moments?
I do. When I'm trying to be somebody else that to please that person. Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Do you avoid discomfort?
Oh my gosh. Bingo.
Do you feel like there's an emotional toll of constantly pleasing others going on behind the scenes?
Well, yeah, I do.
Emotionally.
I do.
Yeah. How about, do you have difficulty setting boundaries or with boundaries?
Oh, yeah. I've gotten into some trouble in the past in that area. Setting boundaries is stepping over the line or moving the line. Yeah.
Yeah, and a really clear one is, do you have fear of letting people down?
Oh my gosh.
That's a big one for people pleasing.
Absolutely. Letting people I love down.
Yeah. Disappointing others.
Yeah, exactly.
However you want to word it, right? Disappointing others, letting them down.
Yeah,
that's a big one. So I'm going to go with yes. Yes, you check enough of those boxes off.
So that, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this pressure to conform to other people's expectations and this internal conflict between wanting to fit in, but also wanting to be this, myself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a hard line to stay authentic, but also do all these things to just people please and avoid conflict and all those. Yeah. It's really hard it's a thin line to walk.
And maybe it gets into this codependency because it's a this pattern of behavior where I tend to prioritize the needs of others at the expense of my own well-being.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. You're putting others first instead of yourself. Yeah. That's definitely codependency. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So let's, chime in with your narrative.
So I think people pleasing started for me at a young age, very young age, wanting to be liked, needing to be liked, which is kind of ironic considering I didn't like myself all that much. So for me to need others to like me when I didn't even like myself, that's kind of ironic. Well, fast forward into my teen years, and I could say that, doing a lot of the stupid shit that I did definitely was owed, tip the hat to people pleasing, sir.
I've heard some of that shit, buddy.
Oh God, I think we'll leave that buried for now.
Okay.
But I think a lot of that people pleasing in my teen years was due to the insecurities, was due to wanting to be liked and all, wanting to fit in and all that kind of stuff. So it just went hand in hand for me, and very easily went hand in hand for me. So fast forward again into my adulthood and into my career, where you'll see there's still more people pleasing there too.
Okay.
And I was being noticed at work for my hard work, for my work ethic.
Oh, you were?
And my capabilities as a leader.
Yes.
Yes, which you're saying yes to, and firsthand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. And it sort of came natural to me. Right. That leadership role came very natural to me. I don't know where it came from, but it did. It came natural to me. I didn't have to try hard at it, and I was able to pick up people's strengths in certain situations and utilize them to their fullest to accomplish that task that we needed to get done. Mm-hmm. I just knew where to put people. I just knew, your strength is here. You're going to do this. You're going to. Yeah. I just knew how to do it. And I, without any training, I just knew how to do it. I knew how to organize people. That's what I needed. That's what I knew how to do. Mm-hmm. And it just came natural to me. I don't know where it came from, but it did. And I went above and beyond the norm of what was expected of us. Yeah. And, greatly to people pleasing. I went above and beyond what anybody else was willing to do, basically. And my peers, they all respected me, and they all saw my work hustle, and they all, as I led by example. I wasn't just a dictator. They saw my work ethic, and they, I would lead by example. And there wasn't anything I couldn't ask them to do with me or for me. Right. And I led that way. Do it for me or with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But as much as they respected me, Brian, they knew work Jay. Right. They didn't know real Jay. Mm-hmm. Sadly, I feel sadly they knew work Jay. They didn't know real Jay. And very, very, very few people have ever really known real Jay in a work setting for me. There's very few that have ever felt comfortable enough around to open up and talk about personal things and, let them have glimpses into my life. Even at the worst of times, it was always just work Jay. There was always that mask. Right. And because I didn't want to let anybody down. I didn't want to give anybody the wrong impression of who I was. So
I can remember you coming into my office like maybe 15 years ago, and I knew work Jay. Yeah. But we got into some dialogue, and I realized, oh my gosh, this guy is layered. And I went home to my wife that night, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to break confidentiality and tell her what we had talked about. Mm-hmm. But I said, I think I'm way out of experience here. Right. I think this is my role. I don't think I have the skill set. And she said, well, meet with him again and find out what support he is getting. So we did. We talked about that. And thank goodness we did. So I could support you on your journey.
Yeah. And there was a lot of work to be done still. Yeah. And that was just the beginning. That was just the tip of the iceberg way back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the listeners can't see my head nodding. Yes.
No, they can't. And I have changed work locations since then.
Right.
But also changed my mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every bit as much as changed my work location. Right. I've changed my mindset as well. And I would love to see those work people that I respected greatly and loved very much, and be able to give them a glimpse into the real Jay.
Yeah.
Well, this podcast is
exactly,
a glimpse into the real Jay. So,
and you know what? There's a book by Renee Brown, The Gifts of Imperfection, and I would love to read it again. I just skimmed it over, but if there's anybody who wants to do a little like a book club online or something, to let me know, because it offers insights of overcoming the need for approval and embracing self-worth.
Yeah, it's amazing that that I can tell my children, know your self-worth, know your worth, know your worth.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what that statement meant for myself.
Yeah.
But I could tell them.
Right.
And I could tell them with conviction.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what it meant for myself.
Right. Wow. Now, any advice for our listeners?
Yeah. I can honestly say, all you have to be is yourself, and that's always enough.
Right.
And when you get tired of looking for others' validation, and being swayed by others and what they may think, you free yourself up for such a liberation, for such a fulfilling feeling of conquering those emotions that held you back for so long.
Powerful.
So powerful.
Jerry, next pillar is relationships. Now, I know there's a lot of people pleasing when it comes to relationships.
Yes, you would be right.
Whether it's your colleagues or whether it's your spouse, partner, whether it's your kids or your neighbors, there's a lot of people pleasing going on.
Yeah, I would. Can I kick this off?
Go for it.
Because my quote, I have a real powerful quote. I have a real beefy quote, but it also ties into my story, and I would love to get my quote out of the way.
Okay, go for it.
Just going to take a minute here.
Okay.
What you permit, you promote.
Right.
Stop asking why they keep doing this and start asking why you keep allowing it. So I'm going to read that again because it's a hard one for me to read, because it was a hard one for me to learn, and I can feel the emotion.
Well, your eyes are filling up. So
I've had some bad relationships, my friend. So what you permit, you promote.
Right.
Stop asking why they keep doing it and start asking why you keep allowing it. Yeah. If that isn't a punch in the face for me, I don't know what is. Yeah. I have been in some very people-pleasing relationships in the past.
Right.
Stayed too long for no good reason, other than I didn't feel like I was worthy to go anywhere else. I couldn't do any better, or I wasn't worthy of love outside of this shitty relationship. I guess it boils down to not knowing my self-worth, my friend. Yeah, it really does. And not having enough respect for myself to leave, or at least stand up for myself in those situations. I just didn't know how, or didn't have the courage within myself to stand up for myself.
Did you know at the time?
No.
No?
Well, I knew at the time that I didn't, yes.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about, setting boundaries back then. I didn't know anything about what boundaries were back then. I had no idea. I just knew that I wasn't confident enough or sure of myself, or even what to do about standing up for myself, or how to even do it.
Right.
To even say, like, I deserve better.
Yeah.
You've been a blast, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
Move on. I've never been able to say that. So, sadly, I've never been able to say that. I've stayed in relationships far too long and put up with far more shit than I ever should have. I've dated and redated the same person more than once, because it felt familiar, and it felt like, well,
but I think that's common behavior. People will default to what they know, even if it's a shitty experience that they know or have been in. They'll default to that.
Yeah,
because the unknown is scarier.
And that's very, very true, because that's exactly what happened. I defaulted back to that relationship because it was very familiar, and it felt safe, because I felt like I knew how this was going to play out,
right?
And it did,
right.
And I changed nothing in my mindset. I changed nothing in my behavior. I changed nothing in my views of how I saw myself. So it played out exactly the same way every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some incredible research that's out there on trauma reenactment, where people will relive what they've experienced in their past, hoping to change the ending. But they'll default to living what they experienced.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is tough. And yeah, I was so used to being unseen and unheard that I just accepted it. And somehow it just became the norm.
Right.
It just became the norm. I wish I knew what a boundary was back then, Brian.
Yeah.
I wish I knew how to set a boundary for myself, to even just say, no, you're not going back. You're not going back there. You can do so much better, buddy. You don't need anybody. You're okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be alone. And I was so afraid of being alone.
Right.
I didn't know how to function alone without being in a relationship, without being with someone.
Right.
Couldn't do it alone.
Yeah.
I didn't even like myself.
Yeah.
So how was I supposed to be by myself?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, my story is a little bit different, but still people pleasing.
Yeah. Still people pleasing?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So, I mean, where I've worked at two different locations.
Okay.
The first location that I had worked at, we were rocking and rolling. We had introduced some new programs and some evaluations, and things were really happening. And I loved it, and the staff loved it, and the students and the parents loved it, and it was great. And then I was transferred to another school. Okay. And that's not uncommon. I mean, basically, if your needs are needed elsewhere, the skill set, and you get the phone call, and you end up moving. So I moved, and then I heard that some initiatives that were happening at the previous location I was at stopped. And but then it dawned on me, I was too busy people pleasing. I did not build capacity for things to continue when I wasn't there. Oh. And if I was a true leader, I would have led the way, paved the way, and got out of the way for other people to continue on.
Oh my, can you say that? Sorry, for me, can you say that again? I laid the way.
You lead the way, you pave the way, and then you get out of the way so other people can lead on.
I got to put that on my phone.
So what happened, I didn't do that. I didn't build capacity.
Yeah.
So programs stopped, initiatives, meetings stopped, things that I was so passionate about stopped. But I did not build any capacity in anybody else to continue on.
Right.
So I got smart the next location I was at.
Yeah.
I knew if I love something enough and I'm pleasing people, I need to bring other people on board so that things can continue when I'm not there.
Right. Kind of like passing the torch. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But I held it so close to my heart, and I was so passionate about it, I didn't let anybody in. Because I was pleasing them.
Yeah.
I was pleasing all the clients. I was pleasing everyone else. But as a result, I didn't build.
Yeah. Those foundational blocks for somebody else to pick up and go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Huh.
Or set the boundaries of where we needed to go next.
Yeah.
And if you're not required to save the world, and you're not required to be a hero. You're only required to be yourself.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be the hero.
I like that a lot.
I was trying to save the world, and staying in healthy boundaries in relationships. And that's Sheldon Reed's work. And Sheldon talks about the emphasis that boundaries are essential for protecting one's identity, mental health, well-being. And the article outlines different types of boundaries. There's physical boundaries, there's emotional boundaries, there's sexual boundaries, there's material boundaries, and time boundaries. And you have to decide where do the boundaries have to fall so that you can be successful, that you don't cross over that line.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can pick a lot of that out.
Right.
Yeah.
Any advice?
Yeah, I've learned to love myself along the way. I've learned that I'm finally comfortable in my own skin. I've learned that I'm finally comfortable with who I am, and I don't have to pretend or perform for anyone anymore.
Yeah.
And my advice for anybody who can relate to me and my story is, when you meet someone who's constantly making you feel uncomfortable because they keep pushing you to be better, hang on to that someone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my wife early on. I went through so many shitty relationships, and my wife kept wanting better for me and wanting me to be better. It made me so uncomfortable.
Right.
I didn't know what to do with it. And I have another quote, and it says, "A true power couple is when yesterday's disagreement didn't stop today's conversation." And that's how you grow, my friend.
Yeah.
Yesterday's disagreement didn't stop today's conversation. Yeah.
Wow.
We've learned how to do that. Yeah.
And you know, we can't afford to be Teflon guys. And those are the Teflon guys work hard at being smooth.
Yeah.
So nothing sticks to them.
Uh-huh.
But if they're a little rough around the edges and they have some imperfections, mm-hmm. then other people can relate to them.
Yeah.
And I know that we're being pretty vulnerable in these podcast episodes.
Yeah.
And we're getting some emails and some texts from some of our listeners saying, mm-hmm. you know what? I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we're raising eyebrows, to say the least.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we are definitely raising eyebrows, which is a good thing.
It is.
Yeah, which is a good thing, because I would love to say, don't say man up, open up.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, our last pillar here is lifelong learning. It's a tough one for myself. It's for the amount of work that it took to actually get to this segment. Mm-hmm. For myself emotionally, this is a pretty beefy one for me.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah, it is, and I find people pleasing, and I learned my lesson the hard way. I was part of an organization, decade plus years, and I was pretty involved mm-hmm. on a lot of executive positions, running a lot of fundraising events, running different projects, mm-hmm. Meetings, some months meetings were, 2-3 times a week.
Wow.
And I just was saying, yes. Oh yeah, I'll do it. Sure. I'll do it. No problem at all.
Yeah.
And, Brian, will you do this? Sure, I'll do that. When does it need to be done by? And, so I was putting other people's needs before my own, and I was collecting my own personal growth, or my own learning goals that I had set. And there was this fear of letting people down.
Yeah.
And my calendar, and of course, these different people in different committees didn't know there were other committees happening. And I was just, and my wife was shaking her head saying, another meeting? And, well, yeah, but it's just one this week.
Yeah.
And then there's the meeting before the meetings that took place. And there's the meetings after the meetings. And then there's like, I'll be secretary. I'll do that. I'll do the meeting.
Oh, wow.
And I'll chair. Someone can't make it. I'll chair. And it was this fear of rejection, of letting people down, of pleasing other people.
Yeah.
And I was running myself pretty ragged.
Mm-hmm. Stretching yourself thin.
So thin.
Yeah.
So thin.
I can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can relate.
Now, the only way I got out, I learned my lesson from the experience I explained in the last pillar about not building capacity.
Yeah.
Because I knew I needed to step away. I needed to step down, but I couldn't go cold turkey, because if I went cold turkey, things would stop.
Okay.
I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't, but I thought. So I needed to make sure that I was replaced. So I instead of being chair, I was co-chair. And then helping out behind the scenes until I could finally step away from the organization. Now I'm still involved in somewhat, but nowhere near of what I was before.
Yeah.
And things continued.
That's good.
Without me.
Yeah.
So that's great. The capacity was built and things took place.
Yeah. And out of that, I'm sure you've left your mark, even though you're not involved.
Well, I enjoyed my time, but I also realized that there can be volunteer burnout.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong with you've left your mark.
You just there can be
Yeah.
One of the things, sometimes organizations have executive positions, and there's people who've done the executive position forever.
Right.
Forever.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we initiated was a 3-year term. So first year you're learning the ropes.
Yeah.
Second year you're rocking and rolling, and
Yeah.
third year you're replacing yourself because that fourth year somebody else is taking over,
stepping in. Yeah.
And that was a pretty structural way to ensure that things continue and you don't have volunteer burnout.
Yeah.
What about you?
I know all too well of wearing yourself thin, being the one that everybody is anticipating or expecting you to solve the problems. I can relate. And for some, when you go from people pleasing to self-care, for some it could look like you're giving up or you're walking away.
Yeah, you don't care.
Yeah, and oftentimes it looks like you've stopped caring about everything, and you're defeated by something.
Right.
And the only thing you've been defeated by is yourself.
Yeah.
For not knowing how to step back, step away, and set boundaries for yourself. And I did that. I defeated myself time and time again by not knowing what my limits were. Yeah, not proud of that. It's I have to learn everything the hard way. Oh my God, everything the hard way. Oh, it really is, and because looking for that outside approval or that outside validation, that's what gets you every single time when you don't know how to do that. And I didn't know how to do that, so I constantly looked for that.
Right.
Sadly, I constantly looked for that instead of the inner validation, the inner acceptance. I just didn't see it. I didn't know how. Now that I've spent the last couple of years working on my self-improvement, my self-love, and my self-respect, I've been able to map out my principles.
Good.
And my values and what I will and I won't permit for myself.
So you set boundaries.
I have learned how to do that.
Right.
And it has been liberating. Yeah.
It's like the Beatles song, Help.
No.
Help. I need somebody help.
Yeah.
Not just anybody help. I need somebody help.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That's a cry for help if I've ever heard one, right? And for others, taking care of yourself is important. Like as it was for me. Mm-hmm. Very, very important. And for me, I need to stay grateful and stay grounded.
Right. And that fits right into the research of Carol Dweck's work on mindset, where the book explores the whole concept of having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, and how these mindsets influence, your approach to learning, your challenges, and your failure. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you, that's what you do. That's what you've done by setting those boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, it wasn't easy.
No.
There was a lot of hard conversations with others and myself.
Yes.
And there was a lot of moments where I really struggled to learn how to set those boundaries because they were unfamiliar, and I didn't.
Right.
I was walking in unfamiliar territory, so learning how to set boundaries was really difficult for me. And I'm glad I carried through with it. I'm glad I understood how to do that, and I'm glad I really understood that no is a full sentence.
Right.
It's a full sentence.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, there's other ways you can go about saying it.
Yes.
But the quick and the short.
That's pretty blunt.
No is a full sentence. Yeah. Absolutely. And givers need to really learn how to set limits because takers rarely do.
Oh, say that again.
Givers need to learn how to set limits for themselves because takers rarely do.
You're going to get another T-shirt with that on, aren't you?
I should put that on a shirt. I really should. And honestly, not everyone's going to be happy with your growth. Not everyone's going to be, cheering for you on the sidelines, because sometimes your growth doesn't benefit their behavior. It rubs them the wrong way that you're growing and quote unquote moving on,
right,
or outgrowing them. And some people, they feel threatened by that, and they can't accept that you're looking for a little self-love.
And you don't have to be the Mr. Fix-It.
No
there,
no,
or
not
the Mrs. Fix-It, or the Misfit. It doesn't matter.
No.
It's own the problem if it's yours, and if it's not yours, then offer support.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But it's okay to say
no.
Yeah.
And some are, no matter what, some are always just going to be on the sidelines judging you, and you're always going to be a sucker or a saint.
Yes.
Just whatever category you fit, whatever conversation you're in, there's always going to be somebody that considers you the sucker or the saint, one or the other.
Yeah.
And as Mel Robbins would say, let them.
Yes.
Let them.
Yeah. You can't be everything to everyone.
No, absolutely. And my inner peace is more important than your opinion.
Boom, mic drop. And that wraps up today's episode of Coffee and Conversations for Men. A big thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. We really appreciate you spending time with us.
Be sure to check out the show's notes for links, resources, and everything we've discussed today. Be on the lookout for new episodes where Jay and Brian continue to share their stories, dive deep into topics that matter most, and keep the conversation going.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll always be first to know when new episodes drop. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, share it with a friend or leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. Now, if there's a topic you'd like us to explore, reach out and let us know.
This is Jay and Brian reminding you to grab your coffee
or your favorite beverage
and keep the conversation going. Until next time,
stay strong,
stay curious,
and stay connected.